I've realized rather unpleasantly that irony sits at the heart of resilience. The more you try to become indestructible, the more fragile you become. So there's something that is lost there. Let's take the example of someone who doesn't care about what they eat, what comes in their body. They eat random food, eat out, doesn't care. Sugars, fats, fried food, zero cares about what's going in their body. And somehow your body doesn't allow you to feel that there's something majorly wrong with you. The body wants to balance itself. All of a sudden, you decide to fix your diet for 2 months, for example. You eat clean, you kind of count your calories, you pay attention to hydration, etc. And you try, after fixing your food for 2 months, you try one night of crazy eating at KFC. Suddenly you're sick, you're thrown at the couch, you cannot move, you feel bloated. A lot of things are happening in your body that you never felt it before. So what happened there? And what kind of resilience did you lose? Friends, today we are going to talk about quantum physics. No, I'm just kidding. We are going to talk about how you can live for years in dysfunction, and if you're young and healthy and lucky enough, never feel that anything or that you need to do any major change to your lifestyle. Let's make something clear here. Your body's goal is not to thrive. Your body's goal is not to reach enlightenment. Your body's goal is basically just to survive. So it can adapt to almost anything. And think about it this way. The body adapts and endures, the system endures by lowering its standards. So your body endures anything, not by thriving, but by lowering its standards. And here, your job as the rational being that you are is to make the right choices for it, for your body. Remember, your body doesn't want to thrive. It's not that it doesn't want, it doesn't care, only cares about survival. Your job as a rational being is to help it thrive. You think you're strong because you're functioning. Matter of fact is that you're functioning because your body, in a sense, refuses to die. Let me share with you an example, a personal example from my own life, an example that I called the Sleeping Beauty example. And it stems from my struggle and my story with sleep. So I always slept for more than 10 years, 15 years, slept 5.5 hours on average per night. Okay? Never felt that anything is wrong with my sleep. Always woke up energetic as the next guy. Always thought that, okay, no snoozing. I never felt the need to snooze. So I kind of convinced myself that somehow I was built different. I needed less sleep than other people. For the reason of maybe I had premium genes or something like that. Some kind of bullcrap like that I convinced myself with. Fast forward a couple of years when I realized, not because I needed to, I realized because I understood the importance of sleep, that I have to sleep more. So now I sleep between 7 and 8 hours per night. And after sleeping 7 and 8 hours per night for a couple of months, I was forced to sleep less for a night. And then all of a sudden I felt that I was wrecked the next day. I felt that the impact of 5 hours of sleep was much higher and much bigger than when I was used to sleeping 5 and 5.5 hours per night. I kind of lost something there. And I started asking myself, what did I lose? What did I lose? Was it, am I weaker now for sleeping more? And what I came to the realization is that I didn't lose anything. In fact, I gained sensitivity. So I am feeling more now, and I am more sensitive to the lack of sleep. I'm more sensitive to bad food than I used to be before. And it wasn't that I was losing resilience. I was regaining awareness of what I am enduring. So this is very interesting. You can also ask yourself in your life, what kind of things are you enduring without noticing? things that you know rationally that it's not good for you, or things that you know that you need to change, but you still wait to change these things because you feel that, all right, I am still functioning, I am still cognitively sharp, I am still strong, vital, etc. And you are just practically waiting for the moment where your body gives you the signal. And I think me as a trainer and as someone who's concerned with lifestyle and health, I need to tell you that you ought to not wait until you see those signs and then start to fix your life. You better get ahead of it. Right, so what is the right dose and how do we help the body to adapt and become more resilient? This takes us to a biological concept called hormesis. And this biological concept means only that when there's a substance, with small doses of this substance, it can bring benefit. With high doses, it can bring harm. All right? So it basically, hormesis means two phases. So one applied at low dose, stimulation, adaptation; at high dose, inhibition and damage. Think of stress, think of vaccines, for example, how they actually function. All right? So the same stressor that harms us at high doses gives us benefit at smaller ones. For gym people, think of training. Small tears in your muscles, you become stronger by tearing your muscles. Small tears. Big tears, it's a problem. All right? So this is how you recover and adapt. Your body needs to recover and adapt. This is how you become resilient. All right, now on the biological basis, on the biological level of this hormesis concept, we said that small doses is good, high doses is bad. At the cellular level, so at the level of cells, this kind of stress activates the repair and maintenance pathways, okay? So think about physical stress, exercise, exposure to temperature, high temperature, low temperature, fasting. Small dose is good, high dose is bad. This is the slogan that you have to just remember from this entire hormesis thing. On the psychological level, for example, you have when you do new things, so novelty. You have when you do new challenges, you learn new things, problem solving. So it is important also on the biological level. Moving on to dose matters. So the amount of toxins or the amount of stress that you're getting, that you're putting in your body matters. And the body's stress response follows an inverted U curve. So this is a U, this is an inverted U. And it's very simple. It means that in the beginning, at low dose, at very low dose, too low, there's no adaptation. You go to very high, also there's no adaptation. The sweet spot is in the middle. So the optimal middle, this is where you grow, this is where you adapt. So basically, the dose is what is making the resilience, okay? Not the toxin, the dose of the toxin or the stress is what is making you resilient. Now let's talk about where does this hormesis thing fits with aging and stress. Remember, short-term stress promotes repair, long-term stress promotes decay. So you kind of decaying when you're stressing all the time. And when you stress in small bits, even if it's intense, you're repairing, you're growing, you're increasing your resilience. So the occasional challenge, the occasional hormetic challenge extends lifespan, such as caloric restriction and exercise. The constant high stress activation promotes more inflammation, more stress, and it actually shortens the lifespan. The same concept can be applied to the mind. Small stressors such as public speaking, such as novelty, new things. Try to learn something without a lot of failure. So try to learn something and succeed in it. Can build a lot of mental stability and emotional balance and regulation. Let's think about also a different aspect of this, the social implication of this concept. If we take the modern day's problems, where most people either have too much stress that leads to burnout, or too little stress that leads to boredom or something like fragility. Okay? Even political movements are born from fragility, some claim, such as wokeness, for example. People claim that because of the lack of stressors, people are bored, they have nothing that is challenging them. They become more fragile and they start creating problems from minor things. It is alleged. Okay, so these are problems these are the social implications from this biological concept. Let's talk a little bit about some practical applications that you can do to increase your resilience using this concept of little stress, good, lots of stress, bad. If we say exercise, for example, exercise, intense and brief exercise is good. So intense, short and brief. A lot of exercise all the time without recovery can lead to fatigue. Cold and heat exposure, the same drill goes there. A little bit of cold exposure is good. Too much cold exposure, most people, it's not good for them. Intermittent fasting. Fasting works when it's not constant, when it's not too long, when it's just shaking the body and allowing the body to adapt. Cognitive challenges such as learning new things, but most importantly, achievable things that strengthens those neural circuits. Let's talk a little bit about as well some philosophical implications of this concept. Let's think about discomfort as information. So discomfort is information that is getting to you, that your body is receiving and your brain is interpreting. Avoiding stress, all kinds of stress, is anti-adaptive. Chasing endless stress is self-destructive. Okay, so this is something that is well established. It has biological, social implications, and then you can figure out the sweet spot of how much stress and toxins you should allow your body to have, and you should incorporate in your life. This information about hormesis I've taken from a study that was titled "Less Can Be More: The Hormesis Theory of Stress Adaptation," posted in 2021. A link to the study if anyone wants to check it out. So stress is not the enemy of health. Okay? It's the stimulus, it's a stimulus for vitality, especially if applied and administered in the right dose. Don't confuse the medicine with the poison. All right? The dose makes the resilience. So the medicine is in the dose. Little stress is the medicine for you. Too much stress can break you. So this is very interesting, and this is where the paradox lies. For example, the modern misuse of resilience and the concept of resilience, and people pursue resilience as self-armor, or to protect themselves against, I don't know, whatever, you name it. Some people take this stoic posture so they can feel less. But the thing is that it will make you emotionally calcified. So you will feel less and less, and this diminishes your ability to live life fully. Final reflections. If you want to stay alive, tolerate poison. If you want to live well, raise your standards high enough that mediocrity becomes intolerable. Let that sink in for a few seconds. This takes us to the beginning of this video, where I explained to you that your body does not aim for thriving, does not aim for excellence. It only aims for survival. Your job as the rational being that you are is to guide the body and the mind into excellence, is to apply some stressors, the principle of hormesis, to become more resilient and in the right way. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time.